What is up, YouTube? It's Kingfisher745, and this will be the final day of your daily dose of beta. As I'm sure you're all aware, preseason beta has concluded, so in this video I will be showing my final 5 matches, and I wasn't sure what else I was going to do, but I will answer some questions once again. I think the Q&A has gone really well, and I've had some amazing comments and questions. So yeah, before we begin, I just want to thank you all for that. Oh, and one more thing before the first question. Remember that loss I was talking about? Well, that will be at the end of the video, and I'm going to do a commentary over it. Alright, so on to the first question. It comes from Chaldean 4Life91, and they ask, King, I just got the Manvantara. What do you suggest me teaming it up with, hero and gear? Well, for heroes I would go with Hank Pym, Anti-Venom, Wasp, Spider-Man, or even the new character Kazar. Then for gear, well, anything that you have that exploits opportunity. So for example, the No Mercy or the Serpentine Staff. Next, Saki Fati asks, do you plan to live stream your matches in the near future? Actually, that is something that I want to do, but right now the computer that I plan to stream with is actually being repaired. Some of you may remember when I said I had problems with my video card, and so I sent it back, and when I got a new one, it did the same thing. So now the whole computer is getting repaired. There is a chance I may start streaming before that, and I just use my older computer, but there will be some lag, and I was really hoping to avoid that. I really do want to start streaming though, and I think PvP could be pretty fun to stream in this game, as well as maybe when a new chapter releases, or even a new Spec Ops. Then of course I wouldn't mind streaming other games like Infinite Crisis or League of Legends or Diablo 3, or even World of Warcraft. I mean, the list could go on and on. Most likely, once everything gets going, it'll be something that I do quite frequently. But the hard part is getting started. Potato Smash wants to know, can I still get some armor like the ones you have? Love your videos, by the way. Well, thank you. I wish I had better news, but unfortunately, the armors that I have are no longer available, and you have to win most of them in PvP. The Generalist Empowered Armor was given away as a free gift, but that was quite some time ago for the game's anniversary. One time they did sell some of the armors, but that was quite a while ago. I'm sorry, I wish there was another way. Next, Austin Snake 40 asks, do you think King and Dr. Doom can be on one team since they are both restricted allies? No, I do not. They're one character, but they have boosted stats, and they get 2 actions per round. So if they could be on the same team, then that would be the only team you would ever see used again. It would be incredibly overpowered. Then Samuel Philippe inquires, is the Mercurial worth 64 gold? I think it's one of the most powerful counterattack weapons, and I use it all the time in PvE. I do kind of wish there was a discount on it and only costs 48 gold. But I plan to make a video for this weapon, and I'll try to show you what it's capable of. Next, Teddy Taser said, they did about 30 matches of PvP on the last day of beta, and they felt like maybe matchmaking was more fair. Well, I hope so, and I do know that they were working on it, but as far as did I notice any change, well, to be honest, it was pretty hard because most matches went the exact same. The agent just absolutely dominated beta, and the only time I really got in trouble, and even lost, was nearly 100% my own fault. Alexander Duarte's question is, hey King, first I want to say love your videos. Thank you, I really appreciate that. And they have 135 CP, what hero do I recommend? This is actually one of the hardest questions for me, or for anyone to answer really. There's a lot of different factors involved, and one of the biggest is, we have no idea what heroes you already have. I'm going to work on a video where I cover this question in depth, but for now, I will do my best to answer it. Assuming you want to buy one of the PvP characters, I will say Red Hulk, followed by Psylocke or maybe Deadpool. Then we have a pretty funny question from Calvin Colin. Do you think Hercules should have a Disney alt costume? The funny thing about this question is I do actually think about the Disney Hercules from time to time. Either that or I think about the Nutty Professor when they're saying Hercules, Hercules. So yeah, I definitely think they should have a Disney alt. The next question comes from Andrei Pilatowski. Hi King, first doing an incredible job giving us all advice in a professional manner, and I'm glad to watch your videos every day. Well, thank you for the kind words and for watching. So what do you think about the Savage Axe in Spec Ops Mission 2? I definitely agree with you, it does seem like a great weapon. When I first saw this weapon, I was shocked that it had so many things going for it. Savage Strength, Brutal Strike, Deadly Crits, and Fatal Blow. If you're looking for a good weapon, this is definitely a great one to win. So far I haven't had any luck, but I am trying very hard to win it. If you were able to get it, congratulations on a great weapon. Question number 10 comes from Frankie Tan. What are your thoughts on Wonder Man and Havoc? Which one would be a better investment in PvP? Well, I think they're both good characters, but I don't use Wonder Man that much, even though I do know some people that swear by him. Havoc, on the other hand, is an absolute favorite. The fact that he has easy one-shot potential, and he can exhaust the entire enemy team at once, really makes this guy amazing. And I really didn't touch on his other great aspects like his uncanny coordination, the fact that he has pressure points debuffs, and shield breaker. So I think you can tell I'm going to say Havoc. Then our next set of questions comes from Wildman Will 95. First, do I think the Taskmaster should have an E-ISO and an A-ISO? Yes, actually I do, and it's not so much that Taskmaster needs it, but I think that everyone should get at least one of each at some point. Next, is Taskmaster good on PvP defense? Well, I would say that he isn't bad, but personally I wouldn't use him on defense. Unfortunately, there are very few characters that work out very well on defense. Out of all the characters, I would place Taskmaster somewhere in the middle. Third, while I usually try to have the dialogues whenever I unlock the character. Or are you asking for some sort of compilation? And then last, what is your favorite Marvel and DC movie? Well, for DC it's pretty easy, it's The Dark Knight. But for Marvel, it's really hard because I love Guardians of the Galaxy and the Avengers, but my heart says go with Spider-Man 2. The Aunt May speech about waiting in the rain just to see the hero is easily one of my favorite moments. I can't even explain the feeling that I get when I hear it. And also, you just know that Aunt May knows that Peter is Spider-Man. And I believe the final question is going to come from The D-Berg. First, congratulations on your videos, it helped me a lot. Well, thank you, and I'm really glad to hear that I helped. My question is, what hero would you like to see as a reward in Spec Op 22? Namor, Blade, or Nova? Well, those are actually my top 3 all in a row. But if I had to name my favorite, it would be Namor. I've loved that character for a long time, and I think he's well overdue to be in this game. But also, I wouldn't be mad if it were either of the other two, especially Blade since it should be around Halloween. Still, Namor is always going to be number 1 on my list until he's in this game. However, one last thing, my Spec Ops 22 prediction is Blade. Okay, and for our final roulette, we win PvP battles. So it looks like we're going to end around 1662. Well, take away a few defensive losses, I'm sure. And our record is 67-1. We came so close to not losing. But it was mostly my fault, as you're about to see. Or you could say it was entirely my fault. Of course, it was against a Guardians team, and they get to go first with Star-Lord. So they use Quantum Leap, and it doesn't hurt our Groot too much. Next, I went to use Demoralizing Shout, and then I see the enemy team has the most hated Mystic Shroud. So I figured I'll just go ahead and use Immortal Strike, and of course it's going to be on Groot. I was already kind of bummed out at this point, but it was only our first match of the day. Unlucky day 13, that is. Next, the enemy Groot uses his level 2 on ours, then he's going to use his level 6. Now the lucky thing is, he gets to attack again, and not only that, he does a lot of damage for an enemy Groot. So yeah, that follow-up doesn't really happen too often, but he happened to get it. He does a ton of damage, and then he also gets to counterattack us, which drops our Groot into cutting form. Also, in between all that, I messed up in the first place because why was I even using Groot's level 2? They have the Mystic Shroud. So it was just a disaster from the start. The only positive thing is I do give my agent an extra turn, so we get to use the Guardian Insignia, quick reflexes, and then we can fire the hotshot. This does hurt the enemy team quite badly. As you're about to see, it drops 2 out of 3 down to 2000 HP. Then their agent uses the Blackest Void, which normally I would say is an absolute waste. And as my agent attacks with the Hard Knocks, well, Disoriented doesn't proc, so maybe I had you fooled there. Sadly, Star-Lord does use Quantum Leap, and he takes out our Groot. So with Gamora, I'm going to use her level 2 Demoralizing Shout. At this point it is 2-on-2, but we have way more health than the enemies. Groot attacks our agent, and we take him out with a counter. But this is where I make the biggest mistake of the season, and it's all due to impatience. Instead of waiting for Disoriented to wear off, I attack, and we kill our own Gamora. But the drama didn't end there. Star-Lord was affected by Cower, so we got another chance, and somehow we miss. Like I said, it was my own fault, but they did get a lot of procs, and that's how we got our first and only loss of this season. At least I think it made for an entertaining match. But you know what? Let's not end on a loss. Instead, let's collect our rewards for Adamantium. As far as preseason beta, well, it wasn't my favorite. We all know it had problems, and it got boring at times. But I did enjoy making the videos and the Q&A. I also really do expect that they learn from this, and it's only going to make things better in the future. For one, I do have to say matchmaking seemed better as far as way less defenses, and truthfully that's the number one thing I want changed. So here's hoping next time is even better, and that Chapter 7 comes out soon. As far as the daily dose of beta, I want to thank you all for watching, and for all your compliments and questions. If you don't mind, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe. And until next time, good luck, and take care.